Hey everybody, Jeff Zahler, Zahler Properties, episode 32 of ZPLive, coming to you from 3 computers, 3 sources, whatever. Totally different topic today, just because while I don't get sick of talking about real estate, I know some people get sick of listening to me talk about real estate, so that's kind of why we're doing these weekly polls with a topic. So I think on Monday, I threw up a topic. Hey, you want me to talk about for sale by owner mistakes, or do you want me to talk about stupid things or silly stories my kids get involved in? And that one won pretty handily. I think it was like 75% of the vote was for kid stories. So if you're looking for real estate topics this week, I apologize. It's not going to happen this week, but for everybody else, that's probably a good thing. So most of these stories, all of these stories are actually true. If you've got kids, probably nothing different than what you've heard. It's just sometimes funny to hear it from somebody else because it's my pain, not yours. So yeah, funny stories that Mackenzie and Alex have put us through. Obviously, Alex at only about 6.5 months old. She hasn't really done a whole lot to make us shake our heads yet. Mackenzie at 4 next month is definitely a different story. So broke down a couple things, actually wrote down a couple things this morning, and of course they're on my phone, which is now on Facebook Live. So I'm going to try to wing it as always. Let's see. Mackenzie loves the fact that she loves holidays, okay? Like all kids, loves holidays, and like most 3.5, 4-year-olds, don't really have a great concept of time. So this past Halloween was her first Halloween that she really remembered. Was super excited about it. Told Sid what she wanted to wear and what she wanted to be for Halloween right away. We of course coordinated with her baby sister, so they were both Disney characters, and I even think I had an Ariel Little Mermaid t-shirt. The fact that they make Little Mermaid t-shirts in sizes big enough for me is a little strange, but hey, trick-or-treating was great. But what we didn't expect with trick-or-treating was for the next 5, 6, 7 weeks, basically until we started decorating for Christmas, every single day Mackenzie wanted to go trick-or-treating. So we got to go trick-or-treating to the neighbor's house or people that we knew weren't going to be there. So we basically just used it as an excuse to walk the neighborhood. And, it was, the Christmas tree was up and people were wondering why our daughter was dressed in a princess outfit saying trick-or-treat. So no, we're not weird. Our daughter just didn't know the time differences and didn't understand that Halloween is a night. So that was funny. We then went into Christmas and started watching Christmas movies every single day, which is great. But we're still watching Christmas movies, and we were basically was it last week? Makes me really excited. The daughter's not even 4 years old yet, and asked Sid and I if she could watch Christmas Vacation. So Christmas Vacation is obviously National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So we probably watched it about 40 times during the Christmas season. So, it's a great movie to watch in March too, especially when you're 4. So moving to Easter, we just all celebrated Easter, had a nice visit from the Easter Bunny. And every morning this week when she's woken up, first thing she has been saying is Happy Easter. So kids, love holidays, love seasons, and don't quite know that sometimes they're just a one-day thing. So that's been interesting watching her with the seasons and holidays and everything. I'm sure the next one will be Happy 4th of July or actually probably Happy Cinco de Mayo, and that's a good one. So maybe we can get her with an adult beverage in her hand, saying it on camera. So the other thing that I've noticed is kids are unbelievable negotiators when they want to be, and they can also ruin negotiations at certain times. So obviously, we know that especially having a 2-parent household, one no is not what. If we get a no on one answer, we just go ask the second one. So I don't know how many times she's already at an early age asked one of us, usually Sid, and usually Sid is usually the bad guy that says, no, sorry, hon. But then she'll come up and ask me the same question. And I'll say, did you ask your mom? And she'll say yes, and start shaking her head, yeah. So, half the time Sid comes home or comes downstairs and Mackenzie's eating a cookie and she yells at me for feeding her cookie. I said, well, you told her she could have one, right? So we've noticed that. But one story in particular was pretty funny. She lost her privilege to have her iPad. So we had the iPad charging upstairs. I think it was in the bedroom or the bathroom or whatever. And I was downstairs. Sid was upstairs putting some clothes away in the laundry room. And Mackenzie was not allowed to have her iPad, not allowed to have her iPad and everything. And so she was sitting with me. And next thing I know, she disappeared. And I said, where are you going? I heard her walk up the stairs. She said, I'm going to go see mommy. I said, okay. So I go back to doing what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm probably watching TV or tuning things out, as I have been known to do on the weekends. But about 10 minutes later, Sid comes downstairs saying, did you give her iPad? I said, no. She said, well, it's gone. I said, okay, where is she? She's like, I don't know. Where is she? So the iPad was in the bathroom. Sid was in the closet that's right off the bathroom. Mackenzie went upstairs telling me she was going to go see mommy, took the iPad off the charger while Sid was in the closet right next door, quietly went to her room, put the covers over her head, and started watching the iPad under the covers in her room. And she knows there's a camera, so she had it low enough where we wouldn't hear it on the camera. So remember, this is like a 3.5-year-old. So the fact that Sid and I basically looked at each other and started laughing hysterically, and basically allowed her free reign at that point on that iPad, because she was able to basically thieve it away from Sid right there, explain to me that she was going to go see mommy, and then knew to go into her room, put the covers over her head, and watch the iPad. God bless that little kid. So that's the negotiating. Sometimes she's not great negotiating, or costing us in terms of negotiation. We just bought a new car last week, and Sid brought the kids down to the dealer to go look at the car, and Mackenzie, went and sat in the car and loved the car. And as we're walking into the dealer, jokingly, of course, we know we were gonna buy the car, but I looked at her. I said, "Do you want to keep Daddy's white car because it's a nice car, or do you want to get this new blue car?" And she looked at me and she looked at the dealer. She said, "The new blue car." So I looked at the dealer and I said, "I've got no negotiating power at this point, do you?" And they're like, "Nope, no, you don't." So I looked at my kid, who then put on her sunglasses and said, "Daddy, I look good in this car." We're in so much trouble. So kids are the best. If they make us our real people, right? We are who we are because of our kids. I think at this point in our lives, Sid and I have probably seen or heard every single Disney movie that's been released in the last 30 years, multiple times, but that's to be expected. Again, if you're just joining in, there's no real estate talk today. Sorry, it's about my kids, which is probably not nearly as exciting for everybody else it is not my kids. Although Daphne's looking at some of this stuff and smiling because she's had the pleasure of hanging out with Tweedledee and Tweedledum a handful of times. So yeah, look, kids, especially when you're trying to run a business or, have a normal dinner or whatever, have become definitely a difference in our life. Other things Mackenzie loves to do, she loves to, this is a new one, and I'm hoping my grandmother's not listening or my mom listening, because I'm sure she's gotten it from our family. Mackenzie's new favorite thing to do is she loves to try to fart on her baby sister. So, yep, that's exactly what I said. So when we're not paying attention or we're laying in bed snuggling or whatever in the mornings, Mackenzie will literally turn around and start to try to fart on her sister, and she thinks it's the funniest thing ever. And it doesn't help that Alex then starts giggling and laughing too. So we have a serial farter in our house. Not me, for the first time probably ever. She loves to try to fart on her sister almost on a daily basis. Sid, let's see. I hope you're okay with some of these stories. I don't really have a whole lot more. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of A, make sure we're doing Facebook Live every week. B, trying to make it like more personal too, right? Yeah, Sid just wrote, she tries to do it covertly. So she tries to covertly fart on her sister. So I don't know what that really means, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, she pretends she's sneaky. But yeah, look, we're real life people, right? We're a family. You know, I'm not just a real estate robot that talks about real estate all the time. So we want to throw some of these random stories in there every once in a while. If you've got kids and you're watching or anything, put a funny comment in the thread when you see it. You know, if you've got a funny kid story that your kids have done, because I'm sure, like I said, nobody's done anything. Nobody's done anything that their other families haven't seen. Okay. Sid also says that they babble. So obviously, at 4 years old, Mackenzie's talking. At 7 months old, Alex is not talking. But in the mornings, Alex loves to babble and scream, basically. And so what Mackenzie does is she in turn starts to babble and scream as well. So if you ever call the house before, say, 8:30 when I'm still at the house and you hear insanity in the background, it's Mackenzie speaking to Alex at Alex's level, which is fun for the whole family if you hear about it or if you hear it. So yeah, that's Sid. Do you have any other stories that you and I talked about so you can type in so I can talk about it? Good. No. That's it, right? We will talk about real estate next week unless I get another vote to talk about something else random. You know, my kid's flatulence, apparently. You know, I wasn't going to talk about diaper changing because everybody who's had kids or babysat or whatever knows that's probably not a PG or even PG-13 topic, especially in my family. Yeah, that's it. Regularly scheduled broadcast probably next week. Thanks for at least enlightening us and allowing us to just talk about something random for a few minutes. I did get a notice on Facebook that a year ago we did episode 8 of ZPLive. So in the last year, we've now done 24 episodes. We're trying to do them every week. We're getting back on a regular schedule of doing them every week, which is awesome. These little stories and all of our ZPLive videos are on our Facebook page. Excuse me. Yeah, they are on our Facebook page, but they're also on our YouTube channel. So it's I think it's just youtube.com/Zahler Properties. We'll usually post with a link, but if you do have real estate questions, we always say there's some great information in some of those older posts. A lot of them are still relevant. We do update stuff. We do talk about the market updates every once in a while. And not to get into real estate too much right now, but we talked about supply and demand last week. We actually saw a spring up of some inventory a little bit this week, and we also saw home sales increase last month over the month before, which was the first increase we've seen on a month-to-month over the last for March, which was good. So inventory is starting to pick up just a tiny bit, not a lot. So there, I did throw some real estate in here into a 13-minute video. I got about 30 seconds of real estate in there. So again, YouTube for all the old Zahler Properties videos. If you do have real estate questions, we have no problem discussing or answering questions or even using an entire week to talk about a certain topic. So Kevin out in Colorado, I've got a 1031 video for you here shortly, I promise, because I know you talked about that. Even if it's not a ZPLive, we'll kind of do a video for you because I know you had asked a couple questions about 1031 exchanges. So until next week, happy April. It's short sleeve. I'm not throwing guns up. It's short. God, it's short sleeve weather again, which is really nice. We're glad to be here and glad to be providing you guys some content and some help and answering any questions you may have. So I managed to make this a 14-minute video after all. So have a great week and tune in next week to ZPLive episode 33. Take care.